Welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host. And today we're going to rename it. Oh, shit. Comfy. Wait, it's way early. By the way, we're recording this at like 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and it's my sleep-in day. But it's comfy, cafecito, and chisme, cozy, whatever you want to call it.
Chisme?
Chisme.
What's chisme? I'm
Like
not
gossip.
Mexican.
Gossip.
Okay. We don't gossip. We speak facts.
Well, I think we were gossiping right now, especially about my grandma and how she's just refusing to accept her age. She's good for her. She's
good for
93.
her. Yeah,
Wait,
let her
hold
live.
up. Trina,
Let her
my
live.
lovely, one of my strong, lovely co-hosts that just keeps coming back for more and more.
Aloha.
There you go. And Lexie.
Hey, morning.
Good morning. It's Sunday. It's too early. Solomon.
Hi.
How are you, our lovely producer?
Oh, I'm lovely now.
Good morning.
Well, after this
It's early.
morning,
Oh,
She's doing real good.
Yeah. What people don't know is I get a preview of the questions and I just like inwardly go, oh my gosh.
No.
This is going to be about.
Lovely Solomon.
But do you ever find it crazy, like, not even just with us, but your job, you get to hear so many different people's opinions,
Mhm.
lives, like, you're kind of a therapist.
Well, a silent one though.
Oh, not, yeah, I
Yes.
guess that's
I mean-
Silent.
I mean,
Because I don't talk on everybody's podcast. I talk on a lot, but like,
Well, one day we'll have to interview you.
uh-oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
with no preview of the question.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You should do that.
We should. Well, I woke up this morning bright and early, and Grandma was just like, she refuses to go. And I love that about her. But she's like, you ain't stopping me. I'm going. Like, just because I can't walk don't mean I can't move. Like, she's
Let her live.
If we could let her live her best life right now, oh,
She is living her best life. That's why she puts her legs up like
she
that.
would be dancing with John Travolta.
You need to put a camera in that room to see how she gets there.
does have
I
a
do
camera.
have a camera. I didn't even think about. Well, so Grandma lays in her bed, and this morning and one other morning, I woke up. Her whole body is turned to the side, and her legs are over the bars.
So she's trying to get out.
Yeah,
She's
she's
trying
trying
to
to
escape.
Want to be
escape.
in there with you?
That's what I'm saying. Is she's like lady,
She's
your
trying
knees
to
are
escape.
your legs and your knees are done. Sit down. Like, calm down. You're 93. Where are you going?
She's trying to run through the pearly gates and you won't let her.
No, believe me, if they came and got her, I'd be a little nudging, like, go. Like it's your time. She's 93 and she's stuck in bed. Like, and she talks to like all her people, which I find her awesome, but I have to go in there normally and scold her. Like, tell your homegirls to leave, come back tomorrow. Like, you need to go to bed. I feel like when I walk in, she's like, shit, we're caught.
Do you really say that?
Yes.
You tell her to tell her people to
I've
come?
been on the phone with her
Yes.
when she's changing her.
Yes. And then as soon as I walk out and get back in bed, I feel like she says, she's gone, come out of the closet. Like, I tell her, like, one night she was up till all
Maybe
night.
you should stand there and hang out with them.
Not till one. No, I'm good. I don't need the. But I went in there at 1:30 in the morning and I was like, listen, it is time for bed. Your friends need to leave. They can come back tomorrow and play, but they need to go. Your homegirls have moms and dads too. Go to bed. And she goes, okay, I'm sorry. So I rewrapped her and kissed her and said, good night. And she's like, played all innocent, good night. And Lexie, you know. And as soon as I got in bed, she's like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh,
We can't be mad at her.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I wish she was here for the topic. So the topic is, because I would love to hear what she says about my papa, my grandpa. Because I always felt like she ran the show. No, she didn't. But what are we as women? Like, we're not like Solomon. Yes, you can correct us or you can put us back in reality, you know. But
What? Speak for yourself.
what?
Just kidding.
Again, I'm single, so
just kidding.
I'm talking like a single woman. What do we genuinely want? Like, the most, I want to say the three most important thing, and I want the first thing. What is the most important thing we want from a man, we look for in a man? And I know that if men are like Tom and them are listening to this, they're going to be like, oh, somebody with a hot body. That's last on my list.
So my question is this: are you saying what
For you.
does each woman individually want, or are you saying what do all women want?
I think that, I mean, obviously we can only speak for ourselves, right? And every woman and every upbringing in her life will have a different thing. But I think for the majority of women, and maybe more so all women, what do women want? Like, because I asked you, and what did you say? What was your first thing?
Well, I mean, I said a sense of security, but the more I think about it, the answer may change based on how old you are.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it because I
'Cause
want. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
because
Yeah.
younger people are gonna say stuff like, physical stuff like body, this and that, or and
So
then
let's
but
talk. Let's talk. No, let's talk 30 years and up.
Wait, let's put
Well-
Lex on the hot seat because she's the youngest, and we should pick. I wanted to pick her brain.
Okay.
So I feel
We
like
can.
when I was her age, right, and I already had 3 kids, right? I feel like I wanted something different then. I didn't know what the heck I wanted, and
See,
now
no, mine's
that I'm
never
50,
changed.
It's and I mean, obviously, in my husband, I have the things that I want in regards to my husband. But what is it that you?
Okay, when I was in my 20s, I still wanted
Mhm.
security. That was still a big thing for me.
Wait, define security, because Solomon's security and my security were two different definitions.
Security in the fact like I need you like I need to be able to feel like physically safe with you. Like, can you protect
Mm-hmm.
me, like my kid, like us, like this household? Are you a strong enough man where you're going to protect us? And like that was like number one, security. I looked at it like that. Young.
So it's safety, right?
Well,
That's
I think
that
they're
is
scary.
really- that
they're
is
synonymous.
feeling safe,
like
yeah.
security and safety are the same thing.
I guess when I
they're the
think of
same bucket.
security, I think of security as like financial
Well, and
security.
then but that
No.
was also another thing. But I put that second because the fact that I already had 2 kids. So somebody else that came into my life, it was never expected for them to take my children on, like
Mhm.
especially in the beginning. So I knew no matter what, I still have to work. I still gonna have to take care of these kids. So
Yeah.
I've got the financial part. I have to do that. These are my children. But
But not all women are like that.
okay, well this one is.
No, I know you are.
Little darky right now is.
Oh, I'm outside.
By the way, Lexie is
Outside.
She is very tan. I'm so jealous. Okay,
it's
go
the
on.
glow right now for me. So
You tell yourself that.
yeah. So I never looked at like when I would start dating for men for security financially because I knew like I have to do this regardless still. Then if we got serious, it did come to a point where like you're not required to take care of my children, like when it comes to financial stuff. But if I'm supposed to be an extension of you now, yes, there's a level of financial security you have to provide for me.
Yeah.
And then I will still take care of this. And then like there's just like levels to that. But I think even in my 20s, it was always like a physical thing. And maybe that was like stuff that I went through in my past or whatever that dictated that. But that was always, which is why, like, generally speaking, if you look at men that I've dated, I always pick like, I want the lineman. I want the corn fed steak
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
eggs
yeah.
man. Because I was like, get through him.
Get through him.
Yeah.
And now in my 30s, I think it's kind of the same. Like the physical aspect is not as important anymore, or not.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
more of just like a preference. But that sense of security that like as a man, like, are you gonna walk into a room? How do other men treat you? Because if you walk in this room and people like can joke in your face and not like degrading and a lot of like make fun of
Belittling
you or
you.
belittle you, and you don't stand up for yourself, then you're not gonna ever be able to give me that security.
Yeah.
But if you walk into a room and you take up space and I see the way that people respect you, like that's like a big turn on for me. Like that's
Yeah.
just something that I look for
Yeah.
immediately.
And that goes back to his character, right? Who
Mhm.
he is as a
A person.
yeah.
So that would be like my top one. Like, okay, am I gonna be okay? Because I feel like if you provide that right away, then all those other things will allow me to like now I can open up to you, like I can feel safe, and then that leads to, like the emotional thing. Like I can trust you emotionally, I can trust you physically to keep me safe, and then it kind of trickles down from there. But it has to start there.
Same thing for you.
Me what?
Would that be your number one?
Just kidding.
thing?
So I feel like there were different requirements at different seasons of my life. So now I feel like if I were looking back to when Michael and I first started dating, I didn't have a preference. I didn't have a criteria. And that was my problem, is I didn't have like, this is what I need or this is what I want. But now that I'm looking more into what we're doing together and what I see in Michael, it would be that I needed someone that's healed and someone that I feel safe with. Like I can consider being in any space with Michael that I feel safe, but I also want to protect him too.
Is it because he's older than you?
I don't know, because I've always been like that. I want to protect the people that I love and care about. Yes, I want to be physically protected. I want someone to stand up for me, but I feel like at the same time, I was raised around men who within our family that always made me feel protected. So that was like a given.
Yeah.
I had already expected that from Michael, but it wasn't something that I was looking for. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't look at Michael and say like, oh, well, he better be able to,
Yeah.
throw one down for me. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I just considered all men were like that. But I would hope that, like, even with my girls, that it's someone who's healed, someone that can protect them, and someone that is going to respect them and not put their hands on them. Yeah.
And those are all things that fall under safety
Yeah.
and security.
Yeah.
So I think like
I think that is my biggest thing then.
I
It
think
would
that's most
be-
women. Like you can't.
Wow, I was right.
Well, I think that I look
What?
at like,
What was your version of
so
security?
my version of security is, and it's like now, like we said, the different seasons we go through in life, right?
Yeah.
And I've always felt like this in a guy but now that I'm 51, I can explain it better. Like when I was 20 and I dated somebody when I was 30, like I didn't understand this is what I was looking for, but it goes back to, and a lot of it is determined by my sister's dad, my dad, Frank. And no disrespect to my dad, we just all, as we know, couldn't be around, right? He is such a man of men. Like if we're driving and there's somebody that is fixing a flat tire, he would pull over and help. If we're driving and someone's car stalled, he'll instantly jump out and help. To me, that's like a man, like not worried about is somebody going to rob him or do something, He showed us all these things. He could fix anything. He could do anything. I never felt unsafe with him ever in my life. He was always this, like I look at him now and he's maybe not even 6 feet tall. But when I was little, he was like 7 feet tall to us, right? He was this big. He lived in San Diego, and if we ever called him because we had incidents at our house up here, he would be up here in an hour and a half. Like he was and I didn't appreciate it enough. I didn't understand enough. But what I didn't realize was I was always looking for that person in somebody. Like you have to be able to, and it's not the violence part. It's not going and beating somebody up, but
No, I get what you're saying. It's you're not looking for the violence. It's looking for.
It's not violence.
yeah, like
I mean,
my thing is I don't want to be with somebody who wants to fight all the time.
but knowing that you're with somebody who could.
And I would be with somebody who can take an ass whooping to defend us, and I'd jump in and help, than somebody who just sat there like, oh, well, let's just leave. Like he just called us a bitch, and you're gonna just sit here.
Because you gotta walk away.
No, yes and no.
Today at 51, absolutely, I will walk away.
Yes.
I will walk away from a girl calling me a bitch because I'll be like, yep, probably am. You know what I mean? I'm not. I have a house. I'm not losing my shit.
Why are you guys in rooms where people are calling your man a bitch?
Well, come to Pedro.
Boy.
No, that's just
Back in the day, I feel like people were ruthless.
They were. See, and I think that's a lot has to do with it. Growing up, like it was like that. Where we lived, Lex, you know.
I don't think it's a Pedro thing. It still happens a lot of places. I think it's an alcohol thing.
Yes. Yes.
But
that's why I'd rather do something else
Some
than
people
drink.
are like that sober.
this is true.
It's just
So for me, I just felt like my grandpa who, and this isn't funny, but I'm going to laugh telling the story because, again, I didn't know he couldn't walk and he was paralyzed, but he was in his wheelchair and I didn't know he always had a gun.
You didn't know that he couldn't walk, but he was in a wheelchair?
No, I didn't know. So I don't remember him walking.
Okay.
And I just remember, and it's not funny, but I feel like he's such a badass. It's funny. Like my grandpa I know, so this had to be the late 70s, early 80s when he became paralyzed, but he drove a truck. He put the gas and the brakes up here. Like who knows how to do that back then? A freaking man, a badass man who doesn't give up. Like my legs don't work. It's not going to stop me. Right. Got on a horse. And so this is the funny part is he built these bars in Mexico in the backyard. And they were like, I always thought they were like Olympic bars for us, like the bars, the long bars like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
So we would get up and do these things. Well, no, now I realize he would get up to the edge, he would lift himself up, and he would walk across, and he would walk back, and he would do that a few times a day. Well, it's to build the muscle in your arms, right? Well, I didn't know that. I just thought he was the cool grandpa and built us. But we'd always get in trouble too if we were on them. So he did that. He got on a horse. He got drunk. Like they brought him home at like 2:00 in the morning.
Just
And
'cause you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean you can't.
my
drink.
well, no,
Yeah.
my grandma had to go to the front door. His buddies, his little homies, drove his truck. Like pulled out his wheelchair, sat him in it, and then my grandma had to take his drunk ass in the house and put him to bed. Like he never gave up. Like, and he always carried a gun. So one time I was like, "Oh, is that a real gun?" And my aunt's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Why does he carry a gun?" She's like, "Your grandpa's like before he was paralyzed and when he lived in Mexico when he was younger, like he knew how to take care of himself. Like nobody messed with him." And so they still didn't mess with him because they knew that Chilo would shoot first, ask questions later. And I was like, oh, like none of this registered that, like I look back now and so for me, there's no excuse why you can't protect yourself, right? There's no excuse why you can't fix something. There's no excuse why you can't do something because that man did it all. And then like my grandpa here was the sweetest man ever, not violent, but he went to the Korean War. And the one and only time I ever heard him scold my grandma, and it wasn't even a scolding, and I've said it before on the podcast, her family was arguing or something, and little Miss Chismosa wanted to get involved, and he said, "Sit your ass down." I was like, "She ain't gonna listen to you." She sat down so fast. I was like, oh. So for me, security doesn't mean like he could beat somebody up. Security means like, I got you.
In all
Like in
aspects.
all aspects. Like if we're somewhere and somebody needs help, like you're gonna help. You're gonna be a man, I guess, in that sense. So for me, that's the first thing that I want. Like I look at his character. Are you mean to the Jack in the Box lady in the
Same
thing?
the way other people respond to you when you walk
Yes.
into a room. What is your presence like when it's in there? Are you taking up space or are you cowering in a corner? Like there's a big difference between those type of men.
The second thing though for me is I think honestly, like after that is like we were talking about this, because looks is at my age are further down. Like I'll take a little chubby bastard. I mean,
You've always liked the little chubby one.
yeah, I do. Like, I mean, and I think like Javier was super skinny. Like that's cool and all, but now I'm like, you had no meat on your bones. Like
Yeah, but you don't think like you did back then.
no, not at all. Not at all.
And is that why you keep referring to like now that you're 51?
Because I think when I was younger, looks were a lot.
Yeah, I will not say that was the case for me.
It was not.
I don't even
You
know
look
what
at my
I don't know.
past,
I don't know what I was thinking.
So it was for me. Like my ex-fiance, like he was hot. Like he was a
Well, we know
surfer,
you like
surfer's body.
How'd you go
like-
from Javier to Caucasians?
We all
Well,
said the same.
I
thing,
kind of always
but
dated Caucasians, but and it's
Javier is not a Caucasian.
well,
No, but-
well,
Seth's
my
dad,
yeah,
Moran's dad.
my
yeah, I
dad
just
did.
told her you just created beautiful white children.
You know,
Did tell me that. I dated Javier because he was a badass, because he was a thug, and I just wanted to piss off my mom because that's what I did back then, And then I just happened to fall all in love with him, and
Mama.
yeah, like we love pissing our moms off. And then when he got killed, I was like, yeah, no, that life is not for me. I don't want to carry guns or sell drugs or be a gang member. Like I will tap out and go to. I've already worked, so I'll just stay on my side of the road. Like,
Okay.
and I'm fully okay with that. Right?
So his death, like with any other death, like opens your eyes to.
Yeah, and then when I got with Seth's dad, I was like, oh, he's a white guy. He's from Huntington Beach. He can't like be bad. Like, but 7 years of that, I was like, I'll go back to my thug. I'll go back to drugs, and not me using drugs, but being with somebody.
Yeah,
who's-
please be
clarify.
careful. You don't need anybody using these things against you.
No. Somebody who sells them and carries guns, and I was like, I'll go back to that any day over like that. But it just happened, and then I met my fiance, and he was like all looks. Like the first day I saw him, I was like, who is you? Where are you? Where did you come from? What's your name? But at the time, he was married, so I had to.
Wait.
Oh, I waited like I didn't wait. We would just see each other at work, and then I just didn't see him anymore.
But he was married.
He was married, and so he never knew that I had anything for him. It was in
Oh.
my head. The one I did
You
make
had a crush on him?
I did, and I made a comment. I was like, and jokingly I made the comment, if you ever get divorced, come find me. Ha ha, funny.
That's what my husband said to me when I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, ha ha, funny. Like a year and a half
And then
later,
you became his fiance. Look at you manifesting, you little manifesting.
Yeah, well, we're not married, so whatever. So
It wasn't for his lack of trying.
yeah, so like a year and a half later, one of his friends saw me at work and was like, "Hey, so and so's looking for you. He's divorced." And I was like, "Oh!" And then that the next 3 years was
So
like,
what was it about him that attracted
his
you
looks.
to him? Okay, it wasn't one of those things like, ooh, I like him because he's married.
No, it was like, "Ooh, you're from Texas and you're hot."
Okay.
And he
Good
did
for
all
you.
of the
And
things.
he's like 6'2",
Good, it
and
wasn't a ratchet
he's
mindset.
half Mexican, half Caucasian. Like, so I got the best.
She's
of
like,
both
by
worlds.
the way.
Yeah, it was all these great things. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
good
he
to know.
was quite. Anyways, he literally, like, the more we talked, the more he was like everything. Like, I've never seen him get in a fight. I don't even know if he could fight. However, there were situations where he was very much stand tall. I'm behind him, and I was like, okay,
You felt protected.
oh, 100%. And he could. I think the first time I went to his house, he had a bench and like a swing bench, and it had Texas carved in the middle of it, the state of Texas. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Where'd you buy it? He's like, I made that. And I was like, oh, I just
She's
totally
like, can you make me a house?
yeah. He probably would have. He would have been like, okay, how big? Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So I looked at, but the second thing I look for is you have to make me laugh. If we can't pick on each other, and Lexie, you're at the house a lot.
Yes.
We are mean to each other. Maybe sometimes too mean.
Oh, y'all are mean girls?
No, but
No.
I
it's
know, I'm
with
messing
love.
with you.
And then that's the thing, the nicknames, the jokes. And so I did tell him, I said, if you get it, he's like, well, who gives the nicknames? And I was like, well, depends on who's there. I was like, but usually Alina will give them. I said, but if Seth is there or Michael, they'll get them first.
And their nicknames are not, theirs are bad. Like, no.
Well, how old are they?
33
Michael's?
and 24.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're mine's more with a little bit of love because we like to laugh. So like we joke with each other. We say things. Even at work, all the guys that I work with were, for the most part, the guys can handle my humor. Every now and then one of the guys will get a little butthurt and I have to apologize because he's all in his feelings.
But why do you have to apologize to them?
Because they're just, some people weren't raised like
They
us.
won't- Yes, and we're very blunt, and like we
Yes.
say things. We don't. It's not. It just comes off that way. It's
Yeah.
the delivery.
I
but-
feel like you're always apologizing then.
Well, yeah, I am because yes, and the more comfortable I am with you, the more I say things.
Well,
So-
wait. I want to know how bad are these things that you're
Yeah,
saying?
because why are you always apologizing?
Yeah. Give us an
And
example.
first of all,
Okay,
these
I'll
are
give you
all
an
men.
example. I walked in,
These
so
men can't handle you.
the
and your
kids
jokes.
the kids at home were using the term big backs. And I just thought it meant like chubby
Yeah.
guys. And I thought that was like a term of endearment.
How?
Because you're a big back. I got you, big
How is that
back.
a term of endearment?
Because that's cute, gordito.
because she likes big guys. So she's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cute. Like he's
So-
like a big guy. Like
So I walked in and two of my big backs were there. Well, apparently they're not big
You're
backs.
still calling them big backs.
So I walked in and I said, "What's up, big backs?" And they go, "What?"
As you bring in donuts.
And they were I do all the time. And they were so offended. And I was like, "Why are y'all mean? Y'all, none of you are skinny. You're all thick. Like, what? Like, that's a compliment." They're like, "Do you know what a big back is?" I was like, "No, but obviously a big person, right?" Like, so we went on TikTok and I saw what a big back was. And I was like, "Oh, my bad. That's not what I meant." I was like, "So no big backs?" They're like, "No." And I was like, "All right, see you later."
What
So
is a big back?
it's somebody
audience who
who's
doesn't know.
so big that like they're like
Their back is big.
you have like boobs on your back, like where your back is like.
Okay, first,
Oh.
okay, no.
Yes,
Look it up, Solomon.
it is. It's
It
just like
is.
Yeah,
big,
no, that
big,
makes
big.
sense.
It
Just
is.
don't make that description though. That's not nice.
but it's true.
Just get the definition, Solomon.
So
Your what is it? Urban
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary of a big back.
I think she's right.
So jokingly, like later that day I left, I
So
was
they
like,
have boobs on their back.
"No, they don't. That's the
It's
thing."
just it's just
She
where the
didn't
fat,
know that
so
that's
much
what it
fat
was.
it folds over.
Yeah, so
I'm-
much fat it
I'm
folds
messing.
over.
Yeah.
So when I left at the end of the day, I was like, "Okay, I'm leaving. Everything's done. Have a good day. Bye, big backs." And they were like, that's not funny, Alina. I was like, and one of the guys said, why don't you go shave your mustache? And I was like,
See, then I was like, you know what? That's why they came at you like that with your eyebrows.
they totally, but I don't like, I know that I have a big nose and I love my big nose. I'm not insecure about
You
it
don't
anymore.
have a big nose.
Yes, I do. It's a big old Indian nose. And I'm cool with it. As an Indian with the feather, not the dot. Totally cool with it. So I know my insecurities. And I'm
So
cool with
back to her topic.
Number 2 is being
You
have
gotta
to
laugh.
And
We
that-
are laughing.
No,
You
a
can-
man. The
a
man has to be
man.
able to make you
Yeah,
laugh.
he has to, but obviously these men that you're around are crying because you're
Well, those are
like,
just
trying to
my
have
work
fun.
guys. That's
in
not
them.
dating any of them. Yeah, like no. Like my nephew was over on Father's Day and we were sitting there laughing and we were making fun of his mom and me together because we're crazy. And poor him deals with his mom and his aunt. So he was sitting there like totally laughing because we were watching The Accountant.
Mhm.
And I was like, I think that's a little bit of her and that's a little bit of me. And he's like, you guys are, yeah, those are you guys. You guys are
Well,
crazy.
she didn't agree with
Like-
you though when you said that to her the other day.
She didn't know which one she was, which brother she was. Yeah. So we know like if you take your insecurities and you can laugh about it, there's some trauma. Like I would never make fun of your trauma. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
But if my nephew's all butthurt because he has a big nose, that's not trauma. That's just a reality,
Yeah.
right? Like, so we don't make fun of trauma.
It's
That's
going to
below the
become
belt.
trauma. It's going to become trauma when he's older. When he gets older and he feels insecure because you said his nose was big or he had a big back.
Well, like
You're creating trauma.
no, when Seth's dad and I broke up for good, he said, "Oh, and by the way, blah 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 blah," and I was like, "Oh, that means that's how you felt the whole time." And so
Well, no,
it
they gotta
affected
say
me, but I
things-
was like, "Oh
You got
well."
to say things.
They gotta
to hurt
say
you.
something to hurt you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So my number 2 thing is
You
you
ain't
have to
going
be
out
able to
like
laugh.
that.
No,
You're this, and that.
that's exactly what it was.
See, and look at you. It's embedded in you. what
I've
he said to
accepted.
you.
I've accepted my ugly ass. Yep, I loved it. Like I got. So I have to be able to laugh. I have to have security / whatever it is, and then like looks are not a big deal to me. Like it's because I feel women can fall in love with men.
Yes. But looks at some point there has to be some type of attraction at first, even if they're not like your top choice. Like like maybe not like your number 1 preferences, but there has to be something to attract your eye. Like, and then I think the more you get to know,
Do you
them,
really think so?
Yeah.
You don't think you
have to
could
be drawn
build
to someone?
No, but you could be friends with somebody that you were never attracted to, and then the friendship builds, and then he becomes cute to you.
That can happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
But there had to be something that attracted you at first,
like the personality or something.
No, like something physical. Whether it's like maybe they didn't have a cute face, but like they have a nice body, or like
a butterface. Everything looks good, but the
yes.
face.
But then you get to know their personality, and then you're like, "But he's so cute to me."
It's too
Because
early.
I fall victim to that before. So,
She's like, from my experience.
and that's why they would get the emoji on their face when I.
Oh,
You're like, I
wow.
look cute in this picture, but
Yes,
you don't.
basically. I'm cute.
So I can't kiss somebody I'm not attracted
you-
But
to.
you would
when
be
you close your
attracted-
eyes.
You wouldn't be.
No, you don't
You don't
kiss
close
your eyes open?
No, that's weird.
That's weird.
If I was kissing you and you're looking at, you're looking at me.
Well,
First of all, I'm
hold
gonna
on.
headbutt you. Like, what are you doing? Close your eyes.
Girl, don't look at me.
I think the first time I kiss somebody, my eyes are closed, but eventually my eyes are open.
That's
Oh,
weird.
That's
How's that weird?
It is.
Where's
That's
the
intimate.
sensuality?
That's
No.
sensuality. Yes.
With your eyes open?
yes, that
No.
you're looking in their soul.
She's talking about something else.
I'm not talking about sugar, but yeah, you have to have your eyes open for sugar.
That's fine. But just making out.
Wait, you have to have your eyes open for sugar, but closed when you're kissing?
Yeah.
So the first time I kiss somebody, I think my eyes are closed because I'm nervous, I'm embarrassed, I don't know.
Well, how
But,
many
like-
people are you kissing?
Well, unfortunately, not a lot. I was young when I was like 12. I kissed a lot of boys, and my eyes were closed.
Wow.
I was in Mexico running
I'm
around.
just kidding.
That's why I was always bad over there. But if I kiss somebody, 'cause eventually at some point I will open my eyes, even if their eyes are closed, to see like what they're doing. I don't know. It just my bad.
What do you mean? What are they doing? You know what they're doing.
You've never
That is a control thing.
You've never
You want to
Probably.
look at them because you're trying to see somebody else or something.
wanna make sure
look
they're thinking
deep
of
into
me.
their soul.
No.
You've never
Kiss
kissed
with my eyes open?
Yes.
No.
No.
You
Oh, you're
That's
missing
weird.
out. You
That's
don't know what
weird.
real love is.
That's
girl,
this
leave her
close.
alone.
That is some. You want intimacy and sensuality? That is that.
Everybody's
I'm gonna put this to the
intimacy
test
is
later
different.
because now I need to know. Now I need
Yes.
to know if there's a difference.
Well, let us know how that works out
I'm
for
gonna
you.
You've
let you
never
know.
kissed Mike with your eyes open?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
Yes
saying,
or no? It's a yes or no question, Trina.
Like or
I don't remember.
Well, go home today and kiss him with your eyes open. I don't know, those eyelashes might hit his face. Solomon, you've never done that?
No.
Okay, so for
That's
me,
just weird.
First
to
of
me.
that's why I can never be a stripper or a hooker.
First of all, my
because
eyelashes don't
because
touch
you're
his
kids?
face.
if I'm not attracted to you, I can't.
You can't be attracted to somebody's heart and mind and soul. It's just the way they look.
Well, that's why I was saying that if you're friends with somebody, women can fall in love with them and become attracted to them.
Yeah.
And not everybody, but there could be that person.
Yeah.
But if I'm kissing you and I can't look at you, and because I've dated guys that I thought I've liked, and and then I realized like, oh God, stop kissing me.
Oh,
Oh, God,
yeah.
stop touching me.
Well, maybe
like I can't do
you
this.
didn't look at them. It would be
If you
better.
close your
No, I'm not
eyes.
gonna be in the dark. No, I want like I'm here.
So in the dark, your eyes are open. You can't see in the dark.
No, no, I'm saying I don't want to. I feel like if you can't look at them and see them, you're in the dark, and it's probably why I'm single because I don't have that.
Wait, what time out? Has anyone ever looked back at you?
Yes,
Really?
yes.
Well,
You're
he's
just
weird.
sitting there
That's
like-
so weird.
She probably
Like-
makes them. She's like, you please open your eyes. And
Would
he's
it be-
thinking, I better open my eyes or I'm
Would it
not
be
going to get
please?
triggered.
It would
It's like the game, like, don't blink. And here's my tongue.
But you know what, though? I think we got that kissing with your eyes closed from TV. You never see people kiss with their eyes open on television.
Yeah, go home and
So-
kiss somebody, okay, with your eyes open. Let me know
No,
how
I-
that looks.
I
I'll
have
let you
kissed
know.
Michael with my eyes open or my eyes closed.
Yeah, I just feel like there is such a sense of connection when you're kissing with your eyes open. Like it's so.
I can't wait for the day when you just have the connection with someone and you don't have to open your eyes because the connection is there.
So, yeah,
You're
it
like,
makes
let me
your eyes
close
closed.
my eyes and then you can open them later.
I think it's more intimate. Whatever. Okay. Anyways,
next.
third thing.
Well,
what
that's
is
that's Alina's definition of intimacy is your eyes will be open.
Okay,
Guys.
hold on.
Okay, but like,
Hold on.
The ambulance.
oh, the ambulance.
There you are.
that
You're
one.
hot.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just make a note real quick.
Do you remember the movie Pretty Woman?
Yes.
And she says she doesn't kiss because it's too.
But that was because she was
She's
She
a
doesn't kiss-
hooker.
She said she doesn't
was
kiss
in
on
a-
the mouth, and she's a hooker.
Yeah.
So to
because
me-
she was a
That's
hooker.
like hygienic.
Okay, hold on. But he could stick his hoo ha in you.
That's
He
why
has
she's not going to
condom on.
kiss.
There's a condom.
It doesn't matter if you have a condom or not. That thing is
Yes, it
still
does.
in you. No, it does not. No, what I'm saying
Well,
is
first of all,
no. What I'm
Okay,
saying
you're
is yes.
getting off topic.
No, what I'm saying is yes. You need a condom for sure. But I feel like even with that, ooh, if I can't kiss you on the mouth, I'm not going to be with you.
but you're not a hooker. She's a hooker.
But it's okay for him to stick his hoo ha in
That's
her.
her job.
That's her job.
I've never
Everybody
understood-
has
no,
different
no.
standards, and that was her standard for the movie. It was a movie, and she was a hooker.
Anyways, okay. Well,
You're not a hooker,
no, and no, but
and we got it.
I don't understand.
Whoever you're going to be with, better keep your eyes
Keep
open.
your eyes open.
Yeah.
What if he
Anyways,
has one eye open?
how do you even do that?
Everybody
Right?
get
Just starts
everybody
rolling
get
back.
everybody gets what they want. One eye open. One eye. I'm sorry.
All I know is anyways, okay.
Okay.
What's the third thing?
Take notes, guys.
I'm just saying
The
if
third
it's
thing is be able to have a good conversation.
Like this?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do think that that's important, but equally as important as being able to have good conversations with people, I think a big thing for me is being able to we can sit in silence sometimes.
Mhm.
And like if I'm comfortable enough and we don't have to talk, it's just being together
Being in the same
and
room.
not having to talk. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Just knowing that you're there and like I'll touch you with my foot. Like okay, and we can just do separate things. Like
Yeah.
that is just as important as being able to talk with people
Mhm.
because I can talk all day, but it's.
do you
I feel
get giddy
comfortable?
though? Like where you can't stop talking because you're all excited that he's there and you
Yes.
really like him and you're like, da-da-da, and he's like, oh gosh, shut the hell up.
You know what? Sometimes I do ask, like, do you ever want me to be quiet sometimes? And like, no, because he talks just as much as I do.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
We love that.
So,
Mhm.
so far.
Because I feel like, when I've dated somebody and I like, the butterfly feeling or whatever in the beginning, like you just can't shut up. And then I'm like, I'm telling myself to shut up, but
I
I'm
feel
not.
like
That
you
happens
should-
to me. That's a me. And I will start talking, and I like will stop myself. I'm like, why am I telling you this?
Mhm.
And it's like all
'Cause you're
these
comfortable,
stories, and it's
right?
stories of like, yes, and that's what it is. I'm like, I don't know why I just told you that. And like then now I'm sitting there like, what are you thinking? And it's because like I'm exposing myself, and I'll tell him, I'm like, I'm feeling very vulnerable right now. Like, hurry, tell me something about you. Like, we gotta trade.
I mean, that's actually good though. That you're being transparent, and if you're becoming or wanting someone to get to know you, then you're gonna be super transparent and you're gonna be vulnerable, and
And
but you're not gonna be like
okay.
that with everybody.
No, and this is something that I think definitely came with age because younger me didn't see it this way, or maybe I didn't even know at the time. But now I think I'm at a point, and I didn't realize that until recently, that I guess this whole time or for a while, I don't know how long, but for however long, I was looking for someone that wanted to learn me and not just lust over me. And so the fact that this person is taking the time to learn all of these little things,
Mhm.
and like even if it's something like I did when I was 9 years old, but they're still curious and they still find it funny because
Yeah.
I think it's funny. And like learning like just all these little things about me, is way more important.
Yeah.
And that's just something that I feel like came with age.
So is it safe to say you would want somebody, because I think I do, want somebody more in love with you a little bit more
They
than
always
you
have to
in love
be
with me?
more in love with me. We talked about this about the man needs to like them
Yeah.
more,
Mhm.
in the beginning. In the beginning, and if it's not, then it's a little.
And I agree with that. There's a guy at work, one of the younger guys. He was dating this girl for a few years, and I'd always ask him, like, is she the one? Is she the one? He's like, we'll see. And I'm like,
That's a no.
it's been, yeah. So I'm like,
That's a
it's been
no.
2 years, right? So they broke up, and I was like, my heart kind of hurt for him, but he didn't look sad, even though he kind of might have been. And then all of a sudden, I see on his Instagram, there's this other girl, and they're all out. So we're at work one day, and he's like, we haven't talked and caught up. And I was like, well, tell me, who's this girl? And da da da. And this time I go, is she the one? I go, could she be the one? And they haven't been together 6 months. And he goes, not could she is. So he knew
Thank
right away. So for me, that goes back to the point is I want the man more in love with me.
He said
than-
she is the one.
Yes. And you could tell the way he talks about her. They talk about the things that they do together. You could see it. And I always feel like if a man loves you more, he'll go to the moon and back for you.
Then he should just marry her.
That's the plan. He already
What
said
was
that
he
that's
waiting
the plan.
for? Just
Well, I can't tell you too much because then everybody at work will know who I'm talking about. But
too late.
Do I
There's
know
some.
this person?
No.
Oh.
He's just one of the younger guys at work, one of the managers,
Oh,
and he's doing a
No,
bunch
but the
of
person
stuff.
you're talking about should just already get married.
yes, absolutely. If we're talking about the same person, I hope that too.
Okay, I'm so confused. So, anyways, I feel like the man should be more in love with the woman because he'll do everything. Whereas a woman, we can fall in love with that person even if we're not all giddy in the very beginning.
No, I'm giddy.
No, I need to be giddy in the beginning.
Yeah, I was giddy.
No matter
I need
what?
to be head over heels.
If I'm not,
Yeah.
because if you don't make me giddy, then I'm not that I'm gonna be mean to you, but
You're going to be mean.
Okay, but if you're at that point, Lex, and you know that you're not giddy, do you waste your time and his time? Like, do you continue to like, oh, maybe he will make me
No.
giddy next time?
No, because
Yeah.
you'll know because they'll be like, oh, can I see you again? I'm like, I just saw you.
Yeah. You're like,
And
and
I
I'm
won't.
not giddy, so no.
Like you didn't make. In my head, I'm thinking like you didn't make me laugh. There's been plenty of times I'll be sitting across from
See,
somebody.
it's funny. They need to make you laugh.
Yes, get and be giddy. I have to be excited. If I don't get excited to see you, I'm like, oh, okay, like
He has to be able to
this
joke
person.
and have a lighter personality, not always harsh, I feel like.
Yes.
Do you think you'll be able to tell in the very beginning, even just through your conversations with someone, if they're just wanting sugar?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
and then in my head, I'm just like, this is gonna be fun. Well, fun because I know that that's what you want. And to me, I'm like, you're not gonna get it, but let's just see how.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, oh, this is fun now. And then I'll get bored. I'm like, go away.
Yeah.
But you can tell.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think you could tell when men just want that and they don't want anything else. And I feel bad that girls, like, I shouldn't say I feel that bad, but I do. Like, there's girls that are good women and they're being strung along by a guy because he's not in love with her, but she's in love with him, but he keeps her around because she does all these things that he wants or needs. And then the one will come and he'll just dump that girl and give his whole everything to that girl that is the one.
Well, I feel like right in the beginning, a man should just, if you're putting your time into someone, you're focusing on that person, and they're reciprocating that, and they're giving back, and you're not making the moves, then you should move out of the way so she can focus on somebody else.
That'd be too easy.
Yeah, but why would guys give up a free piece of sugar?
No, I'm saying even if well, maybe that's why, and this is just me thinking for myself in regards to what I would change is I wouldn't give up the sugar. If I were to do it all over again, I wouldn't give up the sugar.
Like ever?
Ever?
No, in the beginning.
Oh, girl.
No, in the beginning. Like,
oh,
get to
you would
know
take
me, like,
But what's
but
in
I'm
the
going.
beginning? What's getting to know?
I'm
'cause
going
that could
based off of my own experience with my husband this time around. Like, like we were just doing things half-ass backwards.
But look at how
it
great it worked out.
No, I know, but I'm saying that would be my suggestion if, like, someone were asking me that were like,
Okay, but what happens if you hold out on the sugar and everything's great and you're like, man, I really like this
but
person.
it's not holding out. You're getting to know each other.
Okay, fine.
That is holding out.
But then, okay, whatever.
You can hold out.
You put it to the side.
I get it. Everybody wants to know what they're dealing with.
And then
over
what
there.
if it's horrible? And then you're like, no,
yeah.
Make it bad.
forever's
Figure
a
it out.
long time.
Can you figure it out?
Yeah.
If the chemistry's not there, you can't make it better.
You'll know in the very beginning.
Not if you don't kiss with your eyes open. You got to figure that shit out, like right away.
The sugar and kissing are two totally different things.
I
One
think
leads
kissing
together.
is more intimate
It
than
is more.
sugar
Let me just say,
sometimes.
God had his hand on me and he knew I didn't need to be doing whatever I was doing. And that's why I'm with Michael. And now that I know what I know, I'm just saying.
Also,
in
we
regards
thought
to
you
my
meant
own
sugar from like birth.
No.
Didn't that make it sound like she wished she
No.
never gave up the sugar?
No.
No.
That's what I thought. Like
That's what
you said
Lexie
about
thought.
to do it all over again. Like
No,
talking about,
my
like,
sugar gave me my girls. So no, I'm not talking about.
Oh, so you're just talking about Michael.
Yes, I literally said in regards to my situation, and now that I know what I know,
one. Oh, okay.
and how things orchestrated, and I know,
But can you say that? How many years have you guys been together now? What's the total?
15.
Okay, 15 years later, you can say that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
15. I didn't know that was going to be what played out for us in regards to the sugar.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yes, I waited.
Sugar is a big part of the relationship because if that's not clicking,
No,
You got to go.
I understand, but I'm saying that had I did things the way that I did with Michael in the beginning, what we chose to do together, things might have been a little different for me.
Oh, I see. What you're saying. Yeah.
God forbid anything ever happen. I don't want to be with anybody.
Oh, we've talked about that. Like
Yeah.
Michael's your be all end all, and I love
Yeah.
that. I love that for you.
I'm just gonna go to.
We're gonna travel.
Yeah.
That's what I said we're gonna go travel.
We're gonna travel because you're not gonna get married.
No, I'm done kissing. I'm done.
Because everybody wants to close their eyes.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a message. My eyes are open. I'm gonna be like, no.
My eyes are open. For
I just
you.
feel like that's a healed thing, but that's just my personal opinion. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something, and now I'm trying to remember what it was about the conversation and all that stuff. If you're with somebody and in the beginning and in the conversation, like a lot comes with me, a lot comes with you.
yes.
A lot
came with me.
A lot comes with everybody.
No, there's some women that don't have kids or maybe just one kid and one baby daddy, and awesome for them. Kudos, they did it the right way. Obviously, we just
What's
took a.
the right
That
way?
doesn't mean that that's not a lot.
right way.
What if
I know that I have 2 kids, 2 baby daddies, in
It's
the
a
words of
lot.
Tom, is a lot. Yeah, I
Yes.
come with a lot.
Okay.
And in that beginning conversation, no matter how cute they are, if you see any like moment or I don't know, if it just doesn't go right when you're telling them all of your life experience that you have, do you back off? Because I think it takes a real man to
Yes.
take everything that comes with us.
Absolutely. Like there's a couple times where I'll like throw a because you know me, I have stories for days. I've lived a life, and so I will throw out a tester. Like to me, what I think this is the least craziest story I have. Let's throw this out there, and depending on your reaction, I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to tell
If
you.
you can't handle that,
handle that, and that was nothing.
You can't handle it.
When I get to into the
When
nitty gritty.
when do you stop throwing in testers though? Do you think right now you
No,
don't have
we
to?
no, we definitely. I just yesterday.
But they're not bad testers.
They're not
just
bad.
No,
testers.
testers for that's her.
For-
You know
yeah.
what? I think the whatever it is that you're doing,
I have to
the
start feeling comfortable to
tester,
open
Yes.
because like
yeah.
I'm gonna test it and see like and because you have to make me feel a level because it is a very vulnerable thing.
Yeah.
For a lot of the stuff that I have to share. I mean, and I want to be able to share that with everybody. Like, if I'm going to be with you, you should know all of these things. Like, whether it was 10 years ago or whatever, it is an.
But they don't need to know the
had.
first boy you kissed, right?
No,
Not like that.
But there's like kind of big things. Like, okay, so like yesterday, I've been throwing out testers, and so far he's taken everything. There's a couple like where his eyes got big. Like, what? But we laugh about it. There's questions asked and we move on. And there's I never felt like
There's
there
no
was any
judgment.
which is why I'm like, okay. And then the next story will be a little bit bigger and then a little bit bigger. And then so finally we got to this point where yesterday I was like, hey, I'm going to tell you this because there was like a coincidence that I was like, this is the good moment where I need to tell him this. Like, I was like, I could have just not said nothing. I was like, I need to tell you something. And I was just like, in case you ever come over like to my family's house, at some point someone's going to make a joke about this and you're going to look at me like, what are they talking about? I was like, I might as well just tell you now. And it was the whole 19-year-old me going to Vegas. Like that whole And I was very scared. I was sweating and I was just like, ugh. And he's like, after it was all said and done, he's like, why was that so hard for you to tell me?
Like you thought that would turn him away from
Yes, absolutely. He was going to, I was like, oh, my stuff's already
And
packed.
the reason is we do things when we're young and dumb and we don't think, right, obviously.
Yeah.
And we don't think that in 20 years we still have to defend ourselves for that decision we made when we didn't know. But men are so judgmental. They are.
So are women.
People. How about people are judgmental?
Men are so judgmental.
So are women.
So I think women are a little more forgiving. Judgmental, but more forgiving.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Women are more understanding.
Yes.
So women are very understanding. Like if I was a lesbian and I got with you, I'd be like, oh my God. Like, were you scared at 19? Like, what happened? Explain it to me.
Yeah.
Where I wouldn't be like, oh, ho, you did that at 19? Like, that's what guys are like. That's what I mean by more judgmental.
He didn't.
Look at Solomon's
He didn't
on.
do that.
I think I need to give a male opinion.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, please, because I'm not a
So,
male and I need your.
Here's the
I
thing.
need
So
to know what you think.
if I were in that situation where a woman's telling these stories, I look at it two different things. If it was your past, it's the past.
Yeah.
I look at it as those are experiences that made you who you are right now and the person I like. If it's something that impacts our lives today, like, you have kids, obviously, that's a big thing, but that impacts your life today, then it's something you have to take into consideration. If, you said you robbed a bank 10 years ago and you've been on the run, that's going to impact our lives today. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's just the past things you did, I don't think men are looking at it like that unless they're just immature.
But some men do. Like,
Okay, so that's
there's been
keyword
men on our
mature.
podcast
Mature.
that are they've said that they do hold a woman's past against them. And I feel like when I was with Pablo in 2002, I wasn't sitting here thinking about, oh, well, in 2025, I'm going to be with this guy, so I shouldn't do this. Because in that moment of my life was that moment of my life.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it didn't work out, whether it was his fault or my fault. You move on, right?
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have to explain my past to people. But men, for whatever reason, they want to hear it, and then they're not happy with it. And then they
insecurity, though.
Well, they just can't handle some things, and that's probably why you do the testers.
Just to see, because I'm like, but he took it in stride and it was fine. And it made me feel so comfortable. And he was like, why was that such a big deal for you to tell me? Because to me, I was just like, it's a big deal to me. Like, oh man, this is one thing I could let's just bury.
But you don't know his past. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No,
Sue.
go ahead.
You don't know his past. You don't know his sister's stories. So you don't know if what your big deal is nothing to him.
Right.
But do you think your big deal to you is a big deal because somebody has made it like?
Yes.
So that's your trauma.
No, trauma's a
Somebody
loose
made
term,
trauma
but
for you, like
it's
you.
it's been an issue in the past. So I was just like,
With
well,
somebody else.
yes. And so I was like, well, let's just see.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
assume this might be an issue
Yeah.
across the board here,
Yeah.
and let's just see here.
Yeah.
And luckily it wasn't.
Well, I think this person that you're referring to knows that you're the one, not the two.
Not the two. You're the one, not the two.
You're the one, not the two.
Okay.
I feel like no matter what she's gone through, even if we're like, what the hell was Lexie thinking? We still have her back. Does that make sense? We're still gonna
because
like,
that's your family.
yeah, we're still gonna be like right there. And there's moments where I was like, are you good? Like, what are you doing? Like, but I think that's, again, as women, that's what we do. But don't get me wrong, 2 weeks later, we're gonna be like, oh, Lexie, so what'd you do last weekend? Tell everybody. And she'll be sitting there at the island.
The watering hole.
waiting for everybody to come at her.
Face all red.
Yep. What's up, jailbird or
Well,
that, whatever?
she was there a few weeks ago, and I am not lying. My poor uncle. Oh my gosh, my mom's brother. And this man is the most calm, like non-toxic,
How old is he?
like he's older than my mom.
70.
Something, yeah.
Okay.
And
So he's lived, is what I mean.
he went to UCLA, got his degree, went to Wisconsin, got his law degree. He ended up being a teacher. Like to me, he's just awesome, right? He's sitting there with his coffee and his cake, and he's just listening to us. And Lexie's going on and on about these stories. And he goes, hold on, let me get this straight. So what happened with that situation? Like, what did you do? And I'm looking at him like
Why don't you have him on here?
I should, huh? I didn't even thought about it. He sits there and listens to all of our cheesemet, because it is cheesemet at that point, right? He's so invested in like, he'll ask me, like, if he comes back the next week and she's not there, how's your friend? Like, I'm like, which one? First
That
of
would
all.
probably be a big test for anybody that comes to your house to bring someone.
And survive a Sunday?
Yeah, and if they can't, then you know.
Like, you can't, yeah.
Like if it pulls you away from being in that environment
Mhm.
and they don't want to, and you're like, okay, yeah, well, we don't have to. Then it's like, wait, why don't you want to?
Yeah.
Like you should want to be around them.
But I feel like that, like, what did you call it right now? The
The watering hole.
is like our place of like, where we come and we bare our souls, like, and we laugh and we console each other, and we all talk, whatever. But my uncle will be right there with his advice, like from a man's point of view, And I know when he leaves, he drives home because he lives like an hour away. I know he has to be like,
The hell?
so he's always called me Mallory from Family Ties. I don't know if you ever.
She's
You
too
don't know?
young.
I do not know.
She's too
Oh,
young.
God. Why are you here?
Girl.
Yeah, I'm
She
gonna
belongs
show you.
here.
Okay.
So he's always called me that. So I feel like he's
Mallory.
always known who I am, what I come with, and he just embraces it.
Yeah.
And I love that. So if you could survive all that, when she comes and she tells, like, there's no judgment. We just, I mean, yeah, we
There
do
is
laugh,
judgment.
but
But it's judgment with love.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
Oh,
a safe. It's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
wait, I have to show this because Solomon, can you show the TikTok like before we leave? Because this is literally like, if I was to ever get married, this is the man I envision.
Boy.
And he's not like
That man.
yes, look, it was in the movie
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. That's John Dutton.
Come on, sing the song.
I need a hero.
Keep going.
No.
job.
But
So
look
we're not
at
going on
this-
American
look at-
Idol.
He doesn't dive in like a perfect Paul Walker dive, right? He's all like in survival mode.
Well, he's much older.
He is old. And I think he just had surgery after this. And everyone's going to be like, oh, that's a movie. No, it is not a movie because I don't know if it was this detrimental. Is that the word we used? But that happened to my sister. My sister fell in the river and her dad ran in and grabbed her. And that memory has always been embedded in my head. And look, he starts a fire. That's his grandson, by the way. That's a man. Like, if you can't survive like that, don't even come at me.
If
Like-
you can't survive like that, if you can't kiss with your eyes open, if you can't make her laugh,
Mm.
if you
Can't build
don't
a
make her,
house.
yeah, you can't build a house on a bench that says Texas, and you don't.
No,
make her
that's,
feel
no.
safe.
He's happily married. Let's not.
No, I'm not referring to him.
Okay,
I'm saying if
okay.
you can't build a bench
Yeah, if you can't
with
build
an
a bed.
engraving.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry, not Texas. If it doesn't say her name, don't come at her.
Yeah. And everyone's gonna be like, "Well, then why didn't you marry him?" It's
So
complicated.
it just wasn't. Some things are not meant to be.
Yeah, it just wasn't. And
Yeah.
he's amazing, and he's on his own, and that is what it is. But so I think that's kind of the list we went through. I don't even know if we
We
finished.
didn't really get to the list. I thought it was going to be a little deeper, but
Well, you guys got 3. Is there a 4th?
But I don't really know. Yeah, like I don't like if you yes, for me it's a given you have to have a job. But I'm not worried
Yeah.
about like Lexie said, my kids are my responsibility. So as long as you have a good work ethic, that's
They're your responsibility. But when someone
Yeah.
well, because we all have children, when someone comes into your life and they want to be with you, your children are a part of you. So
Yeah.
But
yes,
are
they
they-
are. You are going to be. You're not saying he's responsible for your children, but a man that wants to be with you is going to want to make your life easier and want to care for your children.
and I think you're 100% correct. I just will never understand that, or because I've never.
Well,
had
that's
that.
why I look at it like you're
He
not
knows-
responsible for taking care of
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
children, but to make things easier, now you take care of me so I can better take care of
Right.
them because I don't have anyone to take care
Yeah,
of.
because
Mm.
taking care of their mother's heart and making her happy and making things easier for her is going to reflect on your kids because they're going to be like, my gosh, my mom's in such a good mood.
Yeah, and I don't think men look at it like that. I think it's more like, yes, you're taking on the whole responsibility, right? But we also have to be realistic. For a woman to say, "Oh, well, you got to pay for everything and all that," that's just dumb to me. you
Well,
know?
and that's
no,
how
So
I.
as long as you come together with a financial plan where you guys work together to take care of the whole kit and caboodle, then that's the way it should work.
No, I don't mean like come in and you take care of everything financially. Like I'm sure there are women out there that seek men for that purpose.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in
Because
reference
they need a
to
Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yeah, I'm saying in reference to like coming in and now keep in mind when I say this and I give an opinion, it is in regards to my own situation. I'm not saying everybody should be like that. I'm saying like coming in, it's more of like and I think my husband said it in the last episode, he wanted to take on that responsibility. He wanted to make things easier for me. Not that I couldn't do it on my own because I was already
Yeah.
you're doing it already.
Yeah.
And they're well aware of that. A man is going to know that he's coming in and he sees she's an independent woman. She's the one for me. And if I can help her and alleviate some things, then I'm going to do that. And
Yeah.
I was not going to get in the way. Was it hard for me in the beginning? Yes, it was hard for me. I didn't want anybody doing anything for me because I didn't want anyone to think that they could control whatever was going on in my life.
Yeah.
But
And I think
Like,
if any
yeah.
man has the ability to take on everything, I think they would. But
yeah.
it's not the reality for most men these days.
I think I would let them take on like obviously we would discuss the household bills, right? But you could take the trash out. You can,
That's
stuff
a
like that.
given.
But when
Yeah.
it comes to
Yeah.
my kids, like I don't know if I would want somebody to take on the financial responsibility or help because I think, and this is the part that I'm not healed, so I'll say that first.
Yeah.
I don't ever want you to later throw that in my face. Like I don't ever want you to say, "Well, I helped you buy this for your kid," because I would tell you to get out in a second. Like,
Well,
don't.
it depends the level of your relationship because I would be offended if you said that to me and I was dating you.
Well,
I-
it said
I-
what to me?
Oh, like I did this for you.
I don't know. No, like I don't want you to take on the financial responsibility of my kids because I mean, at that point, what's the point of being together? If we're together, I'm taking on that, responsibility. But we're working.
But if
it
we're
out.
dating,
well, dating, yeah,
With
you're not doing that
intention,
anyway,
like the
though.
longevity has
Yeah.
to be there. The
Yeah,
intention has
yeah.
to be.
Oh, so in your mind, you're like, no, I don't want him to use that against me.
yeah.
No, if that's what you want to do, then do it. And if you want to use it against me too, that's on you.
I
Well,
had
that's why I
someone-
said that's the unhealed part of me.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I had someone use it against. I let someone come in when we were married, take care of the kids, everything. And then when we obviously things went south, then they wanted to throw that in my face, and I said, you know what? That's fine. But everything that you think that you could throw in my face or did, once I left, I was like, I'm gonna do this 10 times better.
Yeah.
And I said, so like, oh, you want to throw in the fact like, oh, we would go on these vacations. I took you guys on all these little vacations. Not that I was ungrateful. I was like, yeah, to San Diego, Palm Springs, great, nice. My first vacation divorce by myself with these kids, we're going to Hawaii for 5 days. And I did that by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, so shit on you.
What was the purpose of him saying that? Like he
Because
wants to pay him back?
People get hurt.
Because
and
it
they
was
say
something just
things.
like, oh, you
To help.
need me.
Yeah.
You need- And I said, I absolutely do not.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would be able to like, or I don't know, like if he was like, oh, I bought Seth a bat. I'd be like, why are you buying my Seth a bat,
I
weirdo?
think that when the right person comes along, all the things that you say that you wouldn't do are like, no, I could never. You definitely will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolutely will. And you won't even think about it and you won't notice till after you do it. And you're like, oh my God, I said I wouldn't. And then it's already too late. You already did it. And you're
Well, we'll see because I'm 51, but we got to close out because we're done and it's Sunday and we have a busy day. So
Grandma's waiting for you.
She is. Oh, that lady. She's gonna be up all day. She's like, I'm here to party. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, by the time this comes out, your son will be 25.
Hold on. What's today's date?
Today's the 22nd.
June.
Oh, in 2 days he will be 25.
And I had to say that because Lexie said he's 24, and I made a mistake in text last week, and I was like, wait, I was looking at 2026.
Well, she sent me a text and she's like, what are you doing for your son's birthday? And I was like, I don't know. He's in South Dakota. Like, I'm here. I didn't understand why she sent that. And then later she's like, oh, his birthday's not till the 24th. I sent him a text today, happy birthday. And I was like, oh.
I'm like, my age is really like,
Yeah. He will be 25, which means my car insurance is going to go down because he's 25. That's the thing I look forward to. But happy birthday, Papa. And he is definitely turning into the man that I'd hope. And I look back and look at it like everybody's had a hand in that. It wasn't
The man that we knew he was going to be at 4 years old.
Yes.
We knew he was going to be. He's a
yes.
We knew he was going to be.
But he sometimes I feel like it kicks me in the ass because sometimes he's too like I posted something that I thought was really, really funny on Instagram. Apparently he thought it was racist. So he picked up the phone. He's like, you're no longer allowed to post these things. You need to ask first and send them to me because you're not a racist, but this makes you look like. I was like, it's totally funny. And he's like, you think it's funny, racist? It's not funny, mother. And I was like, but it's that. And so he explained it to me. And I go, oh, he's very.
Okay, I got to see this.
I'll show you after. But Loran and I have turned out really well by the way he raised us. That's what I tell people. He did a really good job with us. We're getting better as time goes on. I pick out
Happy Father's Day, Seth.
Yes, I pick out my outfits. Is this Seth approval? You know, like I picked out an outfit to go to Katrina's surprise birthday party. And I felt like it's a little too revealing, but I'm 51, right? Like show off what you got. And then I was like, eh. So I changed it. And then later that night, he saw it on Instagram and he said, my mom is so pretty. And I said, Seth approved. And he goes, and you look amazing. And I was like, oh. So he's done a great job.
She had a shawl on at my dinner. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you covering that?
I'm coming in this morning
like,
with my
family. This is a family dinner. I was like, nobody's gonna judge you. That's your body. Like
if Seth was there, he'd been like, what are you doing? Like,
she had a shawl on.
I feel like if I never had a boy, I would be like on a stripper pole. I'd be 10 times worse. I'd be like, woohoo! But I'm like, nope, I'm held back.
Gosh.
Like God's like, you want to be like that? Let me.
Well, speaking of Seth raising her and Loran, a lot of pretty poor life choices have been diverted because I had Seth in my head like, maybe not.
Maybe not. Like, maybe. And he looks at her genuinely and he'll look at her like this. Like, let me do this. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what possessed you to think that was okay of a mother with 3 boys? And I'm like behind, like, oh, I'm going to walk out of the room.
I can't wait to see who he
I can't wait till he has kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his spouse is going to be like,
come get your son. I'm like, girl, that was your choice. That's what you said I do for better or worse. Well, happy birthday, Papa. And thank you guys very much. Solomon, thank you for coming in so early on a Sunday morning.
Solomon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have makeup on. Like, I have very little. Like, I was like, I don't care. We're coming in comfy and cozy. Like, it's too early for
nobody
this.
here needs makeup.
No. Well, I mean, some people might need a refresher, but we won't say why. See, there goes the joking. Okay, thank you. We have Instagram.
She's glowing.
Yeah, it's the glow.
Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Thank you guys all so much for listening to our Cheese Meta today. Until next time.